on the corner. I'm posted on the corner.
You posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito
and DJ Misses.
DJ Misses, I got a confession.
What's going on?
I ain't been to church in a while.
And I've been trying to get you to go. You know, I stay up in church now.
You right, no matter what, I've been prayed up, though.
Period.
And if I ever miss a sermon on a Sunday,
what's going on?
You can guarantee I'll get my stream on.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yeah, and we talking top 2 and not 2.
Hello.
Pastor Mike Jr. in the studio.
Yo, I'm in the building. What's up, Incognito?
AKA Pastor Himothy.
Himmy Jakes.
Come on with it. Himmy Neutron that came to be posted on the counter.
Man, what?
We Where your water at, miss? We got some water here now.
Holy water.
Hey, this the real shop y'all.
I need that.
Come on with it. Pastor Mike Jr., how you feeling?
I'm excited, man. I'm with some of the best people in the world. I'm with Incognito. I'm in my element, man. I'm feeling real swaggy, man. I just feel like I got the juice right now.
You do.
With y'all, man.
You do. See, there's a difference between the juice and Kool-Aid now.
Come on now.
A lot of people will be thinking they got the juice, but it's actually Kool-Aid.
I'm telling you, man. Kool-Aid got too much sugar in it. Juice is authentic. What I got is all natural. Somebody ought to shout, I got the juice.
I'm finna pop the top of my water early. Pastor Mike Jr. bringing it in here, Misses.
Come on. So, Pastor Mike Jr., for the people who might not know who you are, explain.
What's up, everybody? I'm Pastor Mike Jr. from Birmingham, Alabama, pastor of a church called Rock City Church, a gospel music artist, man, who's just in love with God, man. And I'm excited to be here. You know, God's doing something special in my life, and I'm glad I'm connected with good people who are opening these doors so the world can experience all that God's doing.
That's dope. So before we get into the music, how did you know that this was the lane that you wanted to be in, that you wanted to spread the word of God, that you wanted to get into music?
It's all I've ever wanted to do, man. I mean that, man. I was that cat. Number one, I was a class clown in high school. Mm-hmm. I was the guy who was just walking down the hall. I'm a no-limit soldier. I thought I told you. I just like making people laugh and just bringing people joy. And for me, man, it's just the only thing I've ever felt called to do. You know, so, man, when I started the church at 25, that was the only time in my life I ever felt like I came alive, man. I put 1,200 seats out because I felt like it was going to be big. No pun intended, my song called Big. Yeah. I thought it was going to be big. Only 10 people showed up. You know, so for me, man, my motto is whether it's 1 or 1,000, you do what you do. You know, so now seeing so many people blessed by it, it's just proof that if you just stay consistent, and y'all know this, God will bless you, bro.
Come on.
He'll bless you. Yep.
That's dope.
What was your first sermon?
My first sermon was What the Blind Man Saw. Mm-hmm. I never forget it. It was What the Blind Man Saw, because the Bible says he opened his eyes and he says, I see men, but they look like trees. And the first thing that brought to my attention was, if you're blind, how do you know what trees look like? Mm-hmm. And I think it speaks to some of your listeners right there. Two types of people who have never seen it and people who had it and lost it. And for me, man, I just want to live my life helping people who may have never seen peace, never seen a pastor cool, never seen a person like yourself blow up and then remain incognito. Because so many people get it and flip. But then there's a certain amount of people who had it and lost it. But I came to tell you about to get it back. You should have rung the bell when
I wait till you finish. I'm coming, Pastor. I'm coming, bro. I didn't want to overshadow what you were saying.
Come on. So how was it going from a congregation of 10 to such a huge congregation and preaching to all these people? What is that feeling like for you, waking up every Sunday knowing that you get to get the word out to these people?
Man, it's exciting, but for me, man, I'm still the same dude. You know, for me, it's crazy because I have anxiety and I don't like crowds. Yet God keep putting me in front of big crowds. And I think sometimes, man, it's a humbling experience. I had the opportunity this morning. I was going through my inbox. So one of the ways I stay humble is I respond to every person I possibly can. So everybody's tagging the album. I'm literally grabbing my phone. Hey, I just want to say thank you. Hey, I want to say thank you. Yo, want to say thank you. One of the stories I saw was a lady dealing with cancer, and every morning at chemo, she listens to Amazing. You know, so I literally just pressed the little video button at the top, and she answered. And I literally sat there with her for about 3 minutes. She was talking. She was going through her chemotherapy. So for me, man, I just always want to stay humble. Because you know this, man. You done seen people come. You done seen people go. And I think, man, if we just stay humble, operate in humility, God will do the rest, man. So, and in the words of the prophet Genuine, I'm the same OG.
Hey, represent ALABAMA, Pastor Mike Jr. is here, posted on the corner with yours truly, Incognito and DJ Misses. Congratulations on your latest project, Impossible.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Come on. It's here.
I'm excited about that thing, man. It's currently the #2 most downloaded project on iTunes in the world. Y'all help me, man. I'm trying to catch Shania Twain. She just got too much juice right now. But no, man, it's a beautiful album. 15 tracks. I think it's one of the only albums you can listen to right now where you'll be dancing, giving God glory, crying, and a little trap all at the same time.
Yeah,
that's dope.
I'm excited about it, man. Go check it out. And I've been telling everybody because people don't understand the difference sometimes between streaming and downloading. You know, so it takes 1,500 streams to equal one download. So imagine this. You have to go to work 1,500 days to make one paycheck. So if you don't mind, man, go to iTunes, download the project, support us. We're going to keep putting it on for God, man, and doing big stuff.
So you got to work with Tamala Mann.
Ooh.
Come on, talk about it. Tell us about that experience. How did y'all get together? What was going on?
So, sis, let me tell you, I'm literally in the studio. And I wrote this song called One Prayer Away. And I turned to my team. I said, man, we got to get somebody on this. And Adia simply said, you got to get Tamala Mann. And I looked at it, and this is where you got to watch how you almost kill your own blessing. I was like, man, Tamala Mann ain't finna do that. And then she literally said, well, at the Stellar Awards, they said if you ever need them, call. I text David and said, hey, I got a song I would love for her to be on. He calls me. They jump on their tour bus, drive to Birmingham, Alabama. They were headed to Atlanta. Stopped in Birmingham, recorded the whole song, and literally bounced. And I was like, man, thank you so much. And we got a chance to do it with him. So Tamala Mann, Cora on my album.
You had
I'm the only artist right now with Cora. Everybody got Tamala. I got Cora on the album, man. So it was a blessing seeing how they work. And again, for me, it's a blessing seeing how they're doing all this and they keeping it in the family.
Yeah.
You know, so that was dope. We also got Kiara Sheard.
Yes.
I call it Queen K. We got Kiara Sheard Kelly on the project. James Fortune. We got Adia Da Vinci and so many others. And my favorite track has my mother on it.
Oh, man, that's a blessing.
Hey, my mom, we almost lost her. She has sepsis, which is an infection in the blood.
Wow.
And she always wanted to sing. And I told her, Mom, you make it out, we're going to do something. And lo and behold, she made it out. We did a song called Still Here. So as of right now, she swears she's the hottest gospel artist on the face of the world right now. So, Mama, I'm so proud of you. You did.
Pastor Mike Jr. is here, posted on the corner of yours truly, Incognito and DJ Misses. What was the vibe like going into this project? What was your mind at? What did you want to accomplish, and did you accomplish it?
Man, I was on a mission. I'm going to be honest with you, man, because so many people have one good song and then they disappear off the face of the earth. So for me, man, I'm going to say 2019, I'm on stage at Praise in the Park in Atlanta. I'm scared because I ain't never seen that many people outside of my church. And I'm singing big and I make a mistake live. I was like, I wanted to say something. I said, I said, the devil already know I'm winning. And I left off stage that day. I was like, I think I got something. And since that day we were writing, I wanted people to walk away with an inspirational soundtrack to life. That's what I wanted. If you believe in God for a job, you're going to say, I'm going to win. Once you get the job, everybody around me winning. If you need something big, God's going to do the impossible. So for me, I wanted a vibe. I broke the album down into 4 parts, just like the Synoptic Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Same story, 4 different points of views. I broke it down into a contemporary side where you got uno, dos, tres, counting my blood. Boom, that's my urban side. Then you got the contemporary worship side with Tamala. It's One Prayer Away. Then you got a nostalgic side where I tapped into some god dang James Brown, Morris Day type feel. Then at the end, it's just all the songs that I love. You got choir music. I dropped a couple bars on the Black Sheep freestyle because, you know, man, I got bars.
Oh, no cap.
I got bars.
You having the bars.
I got bars.
Come on.
So it's just a beautiful project, and I think if you listen to it, man, it's going to bless you. I think everybody, it's something for everybody, man. So I'm excited about it.
That's dope. So let's go back to 2020.
Let's go.
So before we started the interview, we were talking about the pandemic and how big of a blessing it was for you because you had a #1 hit single coming out of that. And that was a difficult time for everybody. So explain to us about the pandemic and what it did for you.
I want to paint the picture for everybody, man. Imagine waiting your whole life to do something. In 2009, I started my church. I clearly heard the Lord tell me personally, love your family, love your city, love your church. And in 10 years, the world will come looking for you. So from 2009 to 2019, I didn't do anything seriously music-wise because I heard the Lord tell me that. 2019, I meet a person who takes my song to radio. It goes #1. The day my song goes number one, a week later, the world closes. So I never got a chance to tour. I never got a chance to perform it for real. I never got a chance to celebrate. I'm in a pandemic and I'm mad. I'm literally like so many people saying, God, like, what type of joke are you playing on me? And that's when I got a word that there's a difference between isolation and incubation. Isolation is when you put by yourself. Incubators is where they put babies when they need a little bit more development. And I look back on that pandemic right now, and I'm so grateful. I got a chance for Big to go number one. I Got It went number one. Amazing went number one. Win all of these awards. And this is what you're going to bless. I never missed a football game with my son. I never missed any of my children's birthdays. God gave me everything I prayed for. He said, I'm just not going to give you the people to praise you because I want to make sure your heart right. So I got a chance to be a daddy. I got a chance to never miss a Sunday at church because we were pre-recording and do the very thing I always dreamed of. So, you know, for me, that pandemic brought a lot of pain, but in certain areas, it also brought a lot of blessings. And you know this, man, if a plant gets nothing but sunlight, it's going to die.
Yeah. So
I need the sunshine and the rain in order to be who I am. So that pandemic was a blessing in so many ways. So I'm excited.
That's dope. So how do you find balance with being a dad, being a pastor, being a gospel artist? Where does your balance come?
All right, so people always ask me, how do you balance it? For me, it's real simple. It's hors d'oeuvre versus orbit. I'm sorry, orbit versus hors d'oeuvre. Most people say, get your life in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Incognito, man, you know that, man. Between all you doing, sometimes 3 gonna jump 1. So for me, I practice orbit. The same way the sun revolves around that, the solar system revolves around the S-U-N, my life revolves around the S-O-N. For those who don't know, for me, that's the Son of God. That's my relationship with Christ. So for me, there are times like this weekend where Dad got an album, where Dad I got football practice. I can miss a practice. So right now, the music is going to be a little closer than the kids. But then there are times when I had to tell, we had a huge concert coming up and everybody wanted me to be a part of it. But it was my son's first prom, first high school dance. There was no way I was not going to be in the den when he walked down the steps in his little tuxedo. So it revolves. So for me, it's an orbit. And I don't always get it right. You know, I had one of my boys tell me the other day, well, Dad, you got to do so-and-so. And I sat him down. I was like, hey, let me show you how Dad does X, Y, Z. This is how we do it. And I have to do X, Y, Z. And so there are times when I miss. But what I try to do is when I miss it, I try to communicate it. Let's talk about how I miss it, because again, if we're not careful, people will guilt you into stopping your purpose. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, man, right now, I'm just excited because I get a chance to, and you talk about Instagram, I get a chance to share my wins and losses with people who follow me. You know, I get a chance to say, hey, here's where I won, but also, hey, my how old is Xander now? 15. My 15-year-old mad at me right now. You know, he was supposed to get his permit last week. And I ain't do the math right. The math wasn't math. I literally looked at him and said, I'll take you to get it Friday. I didn't know I was dropping heat Friday. Hey, you get that permit next week, baby. We got an album coming out right now. So it's just trying to find balance.
Yeah. Hey, Pastor Mike Jr. is here spitting as always. Check him out on Sundays right now. Download.
Right.
Impossible. When it came to this project, how did you land on the title Impossible?
Man, it's crazy. So let me show you how God works. I knew the title of the album was going to be Impossible before we dropped Big. So literally, man, when we were at church one Sunday, I started singing, you did the impossible, impossible. And I was like, I got to put that on my album. And I clearly heard a voice say, that song will be the proof that God did everything he told you. You know, so while we were traveling the world, doing Big and doing I Got It, in our back pocket was Impossible. And so when I put an album together, it's not just a collection of songs. It's what will our message be for the next 24 months. And for me, I want the world to know that God is still doing the impossible. He can take cats from Cleveland. I'm from Birmingham. Like, I'm situated and acculturated in between 2 mountains. I got Atlanta on one side, Nashville on the other side. And in Birmingham, I don't know how it was where you're from. The moment you want to be anything, they tell you, move. You're not going to do it from Birmingham. So I get a chance to do it from a city that's not known for music. We don't have a pro team. We ain't got no celebrities. It's me. It's me and Ruben. It's me and Ruben. America. Hey, it's me and Ruben. But again, you know, I get a chance to do it, man. So I'm excited about it, and I want people to know that God's still doing the impossible. That God can take you from being on Zoom, to being on StreamYard, from being on StreamYard to just doing it, y'all doing it. Now you syndicated in every city, and then you're going to look up it again, and it's going to be a late night show. Then from the late night show, no, that's the movie. And I believe what God is saying in this season is, hey, who told you to stop dreaming? You can either face the facts or keep the faith. And I choose to face my facts and keep the faith. He's doing the impossible.
Oh, you love that. Do you play on the title of Impossible with I'm Possible?
Yeah, man.
Cause I see it on the shirt now.
Yep.
Okay.
That's sort of the hidden message, man. You know, so, you know, because again, I'm going to say this, and somebody listening is going to catch this. Somebody just like me was sitting at home, wrapped in fear of insecurity, while everybody else was afraid of your potential. And so the first thing I had to realize was not only is God possible, but I'm possible. You know, and I don't know about you, man, I always didn't feel good enough. You know, I had a child out of wedlock, and, you know, and when you grow up in church, that's a death sentence. Like, no, you had a child, you the pastor's son, and you had a child. And I can remember people telling me, you would never be this, and you would never be that. And I always knew, I said, no, I'm number one, I'm always love my baby. I'm always honor my babies. I'm always be a great daddy. So for me, man, my whole story just has been this story of how God just kept doing the impossible in my life. You know, to take $5,000 out of my savings and go to a pawn shop and buy some speakers. You know, pay up. They charged me $100 an hour for the place I would have church. I went in that room and said, okay, God, you're finna do something big. And now to see all that God is doing, you know, to have a studio in my basement and be singing big, and out of nowhere, look how crazy this is. The #1 gospel radio promoter just happens to come to my church, falls in love with a girl at the door, asks me for marriage counseling. They come to my house for marriage counseling. We go in the basement. I play big. He looks at me and says, if you trust me, your life will never be the same. I say, what you do? He said, you really don't know what I do? I said, no. He said, I help promote songs to radio. So every step of my life, I go to Chicago, and I was invited to Chicago. Someone allows me to perform in the middle of their set. It literally says, hey, they gave me 15 minutes. You get 5 of them and sing. In those 5 minutes, the executive producer for the Stellars was in the crowd and said, I'm putting you on the Stellar. So my whole story is just this story of how certain people say luck. I just call it favor, man.
Yeah.
God's grace, man.
Favor ain't fair.
Hey, man. But I thank God I got it.
From Birmingham, making history like that.
Yeah, so I'm excited, man.
That's amazing. So what else can we expect from you in 2023 that you could tell us about?
Man, I expect to take long walks on the beach, man. Lasagna.
Yes.
I'm just messing with you.
Come on now.
No, man, but we're just going to keep paving the pavement. It's a grassroots effort right now, man. Literally, I'm moving CDs out the trunk, just going from city to city. If God willing, man, one of my dreams is to do a 10 to 12 city free concert tour. You know, I would love to just go to big cities and cities all over the world. I'm from Birmingham, so I would love to go places like a Shreveport or somewhere like a Columbus. You know, with so many people gonna come to Atlanta.
Like Columbus, Georgia?
Yeah.
My hometown?
Let's go.
That's what you talking about?
Incognito. Hey, can't you imagine that a night where we just go and we just shut the city down and we just love on people, man? I think right now people need hope because I think we're suffering from 3 things: injuries, images, and idols.
Yeah.
So images, we're stuck on social media looking at people fake win. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're looking at people take fake trips and people post stuff that ain't even theirs, rented jewelry and all this stuff. Idols. We sitting up here looking at all the people we love, and now we depressed about our life because I want to do it like them. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was at the Grammys. I wish I was in a Bentley. I wish I had $1 million. And then the third one is injuries. We never heal from the stuff we go through. And I always tell people, when we're dealing with healing, there are 2 types of people. People who are hurt and people who are hunted. And the people who are hurt often get stuck, and the people who are hunted never stop running. And so what we got to realize sometimes is, man, when it comes to injuries, images, and idols, get off social media looking at what other people are doing, you know, and celebrate the good things that you're doing right now. I told somebody the other day, my goal is to go #1 with this album, right? For the last 73 weeks, Kanye West has had the #1 gospel album in the world called Donda. Think about that. For the last 73 weeks, that's almost a year and a half.
Yeah.
If this was hip hop, The Game or somebody would have went on Breakfast Club and said, hey, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have the #1. So for me, I'm in the only profession where I got to be ashamed to say I want to be the best. If I ever say I want to be the best gospel artist, they're going to say he in his pride, he in his feelings. Well, I'm not doing this to be second.
Come on.
And I'm not doing this to be third.
Come on, guys.
I want to be the best at who God called me to be. And for me, for the next 7 days, we're going from city to city, standing outside. I stood outside of Walmart.
Woo!
Telling people, hey, have you downloaded the project? We were literally in the airport, and he walked up to somebody, was like, hey, how you doing? You like gospel music? Yeah. Let me see your phone. I just pressed download so she can say no. I give you $10 if you want it. So I want to shake up the world. I want, because you know how Billboard works. It'll be the #1 album for 1 week. Mm-hmm. I want for 7 days the whole world to just see one word, and that's impossible. And I believe, man, if we can get this hope into the marketplace, people's life will be changed, set free, and delivered. So I'm excited about it. I keep saying excited because I'm excited.
You should
and
be.
I just can't wait to see what he does next, man.
That's
we
amazing.
go #1. I'm coming back, and I'm doing a freestyle on this show.
Yeah!
Freestyle. I'm freestyle.
He said that, folks. He said that.
So I gotta ask you, are you a hip hop fan though?
Yes.
So who's your favorite artist right now, or one of your favorite songs, your go-to songs, just on the turn up, humble side?
I'm gonna say my favorite artist is I like Cordae.
Cordae is dope.
Cordae because Cordae to me, man, I'm a grassroots guy. He gets it out the mud. His bars are ridiculous, and he has a way of speaking to what's happening right now, man. So I'm a huge Cordae fan. Right now, I would say my favorite hip hop song. My favorite hip hop song right now would be, and don't judge me, but right now I've been on Drake Upset. Because I got some things, I'm upset a little bit. I'm upset. I had to get focused. So so I love hip hop. I just love and to me, and I just see the God in so much stuff. You got these hip hop rappers who be in their mother's basement, in a closet, talking about Bentleys, cars, and the life they gonna have. Then it happens. Then you got people sitting in a church who's scared to say anything. And the Bible clearly says death and life lie in the power of your tongue. You got to speak that thing. So to me, I just love seeing these cats do their thing. And like we in the A. So I just love, I set up and watched the documentary on Lil Baby.
Yo.
Man, I can't wait to meet him one day, man. Like to see how he came up. And then not only how he came up, how he brought everybody with him and what they doing at quality control and all that.
Yeah.
You know, one of my goals at one point was to be the first major gospel artist off quality control. He was either quality control or OVO. I was going to be the first one.
That's dope.
So,
but I wanted to
pray for
ask
me.
if you wanted to work with any of these hip hop artists to get them on one of your albums, or you was to link up just for y'all to do a song together. Who would it be?
So I'm gonna do my top 4. Top 4. Of course, I would love to do a song with Drake. That's one of my guys. I just love what he does. Of course, I would love to do some anything with quality control, because we from the South, and I just love how they getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? I would love to do a song with GloRilla.
Hey, that's hard.
Hallelujah.
Because I always see her talk about her grandmother and all that good stuff.
She said she told us we had her. She grew up in the church.
Yeah,
she
can't you see me saying, uno, dos, tres, I'm counting my blessings every time I see. Pastor Mike and Glo, really?
Man, I really hope that happens because that'll really change the game.
That'd be crazy. And then the 4th person I would love to do a record with, and y'all gonna laugh when I say this, I would really love to do a record with Mary J. Blige.
Wow, like, that'll be so powerful.
I would love to do a record like that, like just because again, all of these people started in the church for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw a clip not too long ago where Lil Baby went back to church. He told everybody, "I just want to thank my pastor."
Sure did.
You know, so one thing we got to stop doing, and this is why I'm trying my best to break down some stereotypes.
Yeah.
We got to stop. I even hate when people say stuff like, "Well, you got the church world and secular." You know, they secular. Like, no, man, they just gifted and they walking in the lane, man. So that's what I love to do.
Hey, Pastor Mike Jr. is here posting on the corner with Incognito and DJ Misses. I appreciate how you're flying the flag for this generation.
I receive that.
How you are, standing in your faith and being a man of God.
Yeah.
Intentionally and unapologetically. Because I grew up in the church. And like I said, when we open, I don't attend church as much as I should.
Yeah.
But you can identify with that disconnect of my generation. Like, you would think we would continue to go. So with that being said, I got to ask you, as a youngin' growing up in the church, what was one of your favorite childhood gospel songs that we grew up singing, but as you got older, you was like, that's what I've been singing?
Yeah, I think for me it would be it's the hint. Like, so of course you can go Fred Hammond and Bless, or you can go Kurt Melodies from Heaven. But what's been on me a whole lot that I think if we really understood what we were singing, it would convict every pastor and bishop, deacon across the world, we used to sing this song that says, to serve this present age, our calling to fulfill. But yet so many in the church are stuck on yesterday.
Yeah.
And so when we sing to serve this present age, that means we have to somewhat be all things to all people. You know, so man, and so for me, I miss those days when we had the hymns. You know,
Yes.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody open up y'all
Hey,
books.
Charles. Hey, we call it Hey Charles.
Hey Charles,
But it's Hey Charles. We said Hey Charles.
I thought it was Charles. I thought Charles had hits, boy.
Come on,
But, hey Charles. I was like, man, where is he at? But again, I think those were the songs because again, I love even the stuff I make. Big, I Got It, amazing. When life get thick, I ain't sure I play that.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you play what you knew had power. You know what I'm saying? So for me, though the storms keep on raging in my life. So for me, it was those type songs that kind of got me through that thing. But yeah, man, if I had to go back, I would love. At some point, I'm gonna sit down and do a gospel choir album.
Yeah.
Because I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. You know, choir music. Every year the quartet conference came to Birmingham, so I was raised in a whole lot of that stuff. So it's good, feel good music to me, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if you could go back in time and talk to young Mike Jr., what advice would you give him?
I would tell young Mike Jr. it's okay to be you. I feel like I lost. Of course. You have to preface stuff now where they begin sound bites. Everything is in God's will, but I feel like I lost myself for a season trying to be other people. You know what I'm saying? I can remember I'm 27 years old, our church is exploding, and I never forget somebody walked up to me and was like, well, people will never come to your church because you're young, you need to look older. So I'm 27 with 3-piece suit trying to like big glass. I got the fake glasses with no prescription. Ain't no prescription in them at all. I got the glasses on. God bless your friends. I'm so excited.
The glasses make you smarter.
Make you smarter. Maybe they think I'm smart if I wear the glasses. I'm gonna say it wasn't until probably 5 years ago I found myself. You know what I'm saying? And if I could go back and tell young PMJ, I would just tell him stay consistent, man. Stay consistent. Trust God. Trust the process. And don't rush nothing. Because I can remember my younger days, and somebody told me 6 months. No, we ain't got 6 months. Now I sit back and like 6 months, I can do that. That'll go by like that.
Yeah.
You know, so man, I feel like I lost a lot and wasted a lot trying to keep up with a crowd. You gotta think about it. I'm 27 years old at the time. It's 6,000 or 7,000 people coming to my church. And nobody's inviting me to preach anywhere. I can remember sitting at home being like, well, why is nobody inviting me? You know, but again, I think God used that time to kind of get my motives right, to make sure you're not chasing the fame and chasing platforms. So I would tell him to just woosah. It's all gonna come in due time. Yep.
For sure. What was your first viral clip that went up for you? You was like, what? Like you wake up and it's viral.
Yeah, I think the first viral clip for me was 2 Chainz posted it. So I preached. I was talking about this is gonna be your year to be blessed, and God's opening doors. Then out of nowhere, I said, I ain't from the church. You gonna shout pulled up in a Phantom. Yeah. So much blunting in my pocket. Kind of hard to keep my pants up. I looked up the next day and 2 Chainz posted, that's what I'm talking about, Pastor. I was like, oh, I'm famous. I'm famous. I'm the streets pastor. So, yep, that was the first thing, yep.
Man, out of all the contacts in your phone, I know a lot of times, we have to protect our peace and be mindful. Who's somebody that you can give a call to just to be vulnerable and transparent with in a judgment-free zone?
Outside of my mother and my father, what a friend I have in Cleveland. His name is Dr. R.A. Vernon, man.
Word church.
Shout out to the Word Church.
So for me, man, Dr. R.A. Vernon, so you got to keep in mind, I'm 25 years old. My church is exploding, right? I get a phone call from a block number. It's a true story. I answer the phone. I say, hello? He says, this Michael? I say, yes, sir. He says, my name is Ari Vernon. I say, yes, sir. He said, somebody brought your clips to me and I saw you preaching. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm going to ask you a question. I said, yes, sir. And he just started asking me these very series of hard questions. And for some reason, something in me said, don't lie to this man. I told him, I said, man, I got issues, bro. I still cuss. I was honest with him. And he said, all right, now that you were honest with me, I'm going to tell you what I heard the Lord say. He said, I want you to come to Cleveland. I said, you're going to stay at the house. And for the next 3 days, all we're going to do is pray. He said, because God told me your life will never be the same. And I was like, whoa. And I got to his house. And for 3 days, man, all we did was just talk about life. We talked about God, talked about family. We would pray. He would get up at 5 a.m., ask me to get up with him. You know, I was lying about my prayer life then. You know, I prayed like before I ate. He prayed. You know, he was like, man, do you pray often? I was like, yeah, I pray. You know, I'm a prayer.
Yeah.
And then he said, 5 o'clock, I'll see you. 5 o'clock, we up in the prayer, just praying. And literally he looked at me. He was like, man, the Lord told me to tell you your life has never be the same after this weekend. And I probably had 25 members that weekend. The next Sunday, I don't know where these people came from. We had like 75 people show up, 40 join. And every Sunday after that, it was like 50 people join, 60 people join, 120 people join. And so for me, that's who I celebrate with. You know, he'll call, like tonight, he probably gonna call, all right, go ahead and celebrate. I'm like, hey, 2,000 people showed up in Houston. A lady had a shirt with my picture on it. She was like, I'm my favorite. I sold 1,900 CDs out the trunk. And he like, come on, keep going. I just done Incognito. It was a lady there. She said she was from Cleveland. She knew you. Anyway, all right, come on, get it out. Okay, that's it. All right, because again, if you don't have that outlet, you'll end up with somebody or talking to somebody you shouldn't be talking to. You know, so man, that's my guy, man. That's who I win with. That's who I lose with. That's who kind of keep me grounded.
What about, we got the Cleveland connection
sir.
on spirituality in this thing. This is your hometown, folks.
Come on.
Pastor Mike
Pastor
Jr.
Vernon is that one in the city, okay? His name rings bells
it
everywhere
does.
you
Yep,
go.
absolutely.
So that's a beautiful thing that
Yep.
you have that relationship.
Yeah.
I'm Possible is available now on all digital streaming platforms. Make sure you download that. Pastor Mike Jr., I don't know if you know, but you can't get rid of me, dog.
Hey,
It's
man,
over
same
with.
way. That's it both ways. Man. I appreciate y'all.
You still official, posted on the corner alumni. This our first pastor.
Come on now.
Can I drop a word with him?
Please
Come
do.
on.
Listen, there's a word that should come to mind and make you smile. It's called incognito. Incognito means I'm able to be in a room but not in a room. It means I'm able to move but people may not detect me. And there's somebody listening to me right now, you're frustrated because you're asking for popularity but you don't know how to manage the seasons of being incognito. Incognito does not mean I don't have it. It means I don't have to flaunt it. It means I am who I am and I'm comfortable in my own skin. So every time you tune on to Incognito, you're not just listening to music. You're not just vibing with your favorite people. What you're saying is that I'm going to be the person in my family who can win and remain humble, win and not be over the top, win and just remain who I am. Don't let anybody rush you. It's a generation of people who are rising who are going to be blessed and still know how to be incognito.
I know that's right.
Let's-
Look.
I was gonna ask brother pray, right? But you see how favor ain't fair. You turn off the lights, he's still gonna shine bright
Come
now.
on, I wish you could
Pastor
drop the
Mike
mic.
Jr. I might go home after this. I don't know, man. Pastor Mike Jr. came and turned my studio up.
Man, come on. What?
Hey, that's cool. Appreciate you, brother. Man.
I
That's
love you,
pleasure,
boy.
bro. That's love.
Can't get rid of me.
Hey.
That's good.
Posted on the corner.